What have you done? Did you mute yourself?
We've just started.
At least I didn't go through the whole thing. And I have been sitting here with these guys and they've all been going, remember, you've got to unmute yourself. I'm like, listen, guys, it's 2 buttons. You think it's simple enough. And then I started the show and I completely forgot. I'm so excited about running the show. That's why. I'm so excited. I'm like, yes, we're through. Bingo. And done, just done.
I love you, Guy.
We all love you.
It's part of your charm.
It's easy to love a fool, as they say. Anyway, welcome to all of you. Welcome to these wonderful, wonderful people here who put up with all my nonsense, and to all of you watching the show as well. There's a very special video that will be dropping tonight on the YouTube channel. If you are interested, it's called What I Did Wrong, and it's a video that looks back at episodes 1 and 2, and quite literally what I think I did wrong. So go and have a look at that video, see if you agree, see if you can learn from it, and hopefully
it's all about mute buttons.
What?
It's all about the mute button.
Actually, I don't even mention that at all. Anyway, right. So, are our scribes here? Do they still want to be scribes? How are they tired?
I see Edward and Nicholas, and I see Captain Priceless would like to stay a scribe as well.
Yeah, I see Captain Priceless wants to stay the scribe, Merc the Cobbler. Tyrannatum wants to stay as Druzy, so there we go. Have we got either Edward Horseman or Nicholas in chat in YouTube? I'm just checking.
I've already seen them.
Oh, you have?
Yep,
Okay.
I've already seen them both.
There's Edward. That's it. I'll take your words for it. So everybody, our scribes are back. That's fantastic. That is fantastic. Not a lot to do last week, scribes. Yesterday. Look at me. It's been a long day. Not a lot to do there. So thank you for participating anyway. Today, maybe we'll need something. Maybe we won't. Let's see. We shall see. Now, this adorable picture here next to me is a piece of beautiful artwork that was submitted by our very own Inky Design, inspired by this stream, the system, your guys' work. I'm going to open it up there. Just a very nice little rendition of Sylvie, an Ottawan from the Provocax race subgroup. So there we are. Just a
yours.
Very nice...
It's me. It'll be a new follower for you.
Another follower. There we are. So yeah. Anyway, it's looking absolutely awesome. So if you have any artwork you want to send through, we'll put it in here for everybody to have a look at. Right. I don't think we need to go through all of the hullabaloo that we normally go through. Do you think can we just jump straight into it? Are you guys ready?
What is hullabaloo? Hullabaloo is some kind of giant monster.
Hullabaloo, yes.
Sounds like something we could eat.
I would love to eat it.
Also known as the lesser Winnie Kaboo.
The lesser Winnie Kaboo. Yes, that's right.
Yes.
That's right. Or the What Happened Before Shakespeare. So there we go. Why is Kai excited?
My best friend just showed up on the stream. Sorry. I got really excited.
Well, there are 3 people now very disappointed currently on the stream. Let me tell you, because we all thought we were your best friend. Now we know now.
Well,
Anyway. There you go. Right, let us sink our way back into that pine-scented forest with a slight hint of skunk on the wind as we turn our attentions deep into the forest. Once again, maps provided by Dungeon Fog. Yay. So, yes, we are there. That is where we are. And have I lost the map? Yes, I have. Okay, good. Back in action. This is where we are currently. We've got our heroes separated from this strange thing. Who can give us a brief update of what happened yesterday? Everyone except for Brolga, because Brolga did it yesterday. Anyone? Go for it.
So yesterday we investigated the camp, went onward a little bit, fought some of the monsters that were attacking Brolga. It was some giant lumberjack monster that was hacking and slashing at Brolga, and he very successfully defeated it with the help of Princess Aona and Daisy. There were also some wibbly wobbly flesh sacks that were coming at us. We also defeated them, and then we started to investigate what I think Princess Aona investigated what kind of fungus is growing out of that entrance, that little crypt entrance there. And the fungus kept growing, and we couldn't stop it. So we retreated a little bit and are now in the process of trying to figure out how to overcome that problem.
There you are. Absolutely. The Otterocious fungus. That coming from Twitch there. All the otter puns are welcome.
Spicy.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. So, the fungus named Ungus has been growing out of this entrance. Brogger, you find yourself standing upon the broken and worn statue of a long since forgotten mourner or perhaps victim, and this fungus is growing beneath you. What are you doing?
Broga looks at the fungus and mutters to himself. Broga's going to try to get closer to the entrance to the crypt where the fungus is coming from, but at the same time he doesn't really want to touch any of the fungus, so he's going to use his heavy shield. And I mean, originally in my head I was going to play this out like a guy sitting on a rowboat, but realizing that I'm an otter, I'm going to put the shield down on top of the fungus and then lie on my back, and then using my tail holding my my little axe, I'm going to then sort of use it like a gondola almost and push myself backwards towards the entrance.
I like it. Give me an acrobatics check as this large, heavily armed warrior tries to gondola his way across the
I'm
fungus.
mediumly armed.
As soon as Daisy sees this,
Quack.
I say,
Okay, quack again. It came back.
it came
All right.
back.
Better?
Is it better now?
Yep.
Okay. That's a 7, by the way.
7. Yes, you start to do that. Sorry, you were saying, Mitch?
I was saying I would say,
Just write this down. We're gonna get his body when he's absorbed into the thing afterwards.
Yeah,
Princess, do not let him do things to my body.
Do you really think I'd be able to stop him? And did you want to touch him?
Okay, don't touch him.
That's what Brogger's doing.
Yeah.
Princess Aona, what are you doing?
Do not
I'm
get
going
paid
to
enough.
take that tent top again. I'm going to try to go over to where those bushes are, see where that little blank space is. And I'm going to try to drape it across near where the door is and stand on it because I'd be near Broga.
So you want to, just to be clear, you want to grab this tent.
Remember how I took the tent
Yes, and
off
just
and put it on the
Dump
yeah,
it.
over the top and make sure that and see if it absorbs it because it didn't, right?
It did
And
not.
then I'm going to walk over on it towards Broga so I can help him with whatever he's doing.
Okay, so you're going to sort of lay it down lengthways, I'd say. Oh, no,
Yes.
something like that.
Yes, and then
Okay.
I'm going to walk over top of it.
You start walking on top of it without a problem at all. Daisy, you're watching Princess Aona tent walk.
Mouse, follow me.
well, actually, he gets onto Mouse's shoulders. He starts to kind of clamber up, and I don't know what the size proportion is between the two of you, but he's like full on monkeying up, and the skunk is like hitting your ribs, like on the cage, swinging from the cage.
He's like, okay, go.
Yes, master.
He's
Thank you,
learned-
master. I will do my best.
He's using what he learned with the dragon. He's kind of giving a little bit of a chokehold, not too tight.
Not so tight. I start running.
All right, where is Mouse running to? Are you just going to run across the fungus?
I'll just run to the tent. I will do my best to run and hop onto the tent
Oh, okay, that's not a problem. You run and hop onto the tent with Daisy
with Daisy on my shoulders.
on your shoulders. Okay. Let me just reframe this as you are making your way forward. Not a problem. I don't know why I swapped around your order. Anyway, it's okay. We're not in combat as per se. So yes, you get to the tent. You climb onto the tent. It sort of gives a little bit underneath the weight of Daisy and Mouse combined, but that's not a problem. Brolga, the entrance to this cave is ornately, well, it's a crypt. It's very ornate lintel over the doorway, and it looks to be there's skeletons and skulls and ribs and bones and all kinds of ghastly death symbols that are so common to be used by the humans. But the door is very firmly, both doors, originally made out of stone, are very firmly burst open and cracked to the point that you doubt that these would ever be able to close again. They're probably just going to crumble when you try and push them because this fungus has pushed through. There is still a lot of gap between the fungus and the top of the crypt, however, and inside you can see very faintly a light blue glow, as well as more of this fungus disappearing into the darkness. Now, you have survival, don't you?
Yes.
Whilst peering into the utter darkness, you can see steps or step traces in the fungus. And you realize that it actually isn't steps per se. It's someone stepped on the fungus, causing it to be sort of squashed flat, if you like. And the fungus in its growing state has grown around that. So it's kind of like the memory of footsteps.
So like a footprint imprint?
Yeah. Like there was a footprint here once, and then the fungus grew around it and then carried on growing. So kind of like a bit of hair has grown around a thing.
Huh.
But they're definitely footprints going inside the crypt and out as well.
Interesting. Broga's old. I mean, Michael's brain started ticking on that, and I'm like, no, Broga's old. Broga sees something shiny in a cave filled with fungus. Broga is going to hit it. Princess, there is thing glowing inside. I think it's its danger. Push Daisy to front and maybe see if I can grab the one of the rungs of the. Yeah,
I'll run down to the camp, grab the sleeping bag, and run back and be like, here! Like, put it in front and put Daisy on top of the sleeping bag.
I guess you just picked me up like a child? Okay.
Yes.
I am like this, and really upset, and then put down there. You want to...
Wash your hands!
We should also try to help him with a little bit of magic casting together. We could make it like a caterpillar or one of those millipedes.
Look, enough of your wibbly wobbly magic. Just come in here and have a look at these before I smack it. I'm gonna then drag the because again I'm still using like my axe to kind of propel us forward. I don't see any kind of propulsion without touching it for the for the sleeping bag. So I'm gonna try and basically with one hand grab one of the edges of the sleeping bag, with the other keep trying to wrench us forward into the crypt.
Give me an athletics check as you're tugging, pulling, and wrenching.
Yes, that is a 11.
All right, you disappear into the darkness.
Old man has ripped abs.
And the
very strong.
So to be clear, it was only Daisy who was on the sleeping bag, right?
Seemingly.
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Just me. That's fine.
Goodbye.
All right, so then
Daisy's
you
just
get
like, pull harder.
dragged.
I can't
You
see.
get dragged into the darkness as well.
Okay.
All right. So
Now,
you're
Daisy,
both dragged into
I'm
the darkness.
afraid I've brought you here for another reason.
It's
I'm
like
leaving.
Very narrow.
I'm leaving you in here.
I knew it.
No one can hear you scream.
I take out my slug.
Ah!
That's not an euphemism. Mouse, what are you doing?
Well, Daisy was ripped off my shoulders,
Yes.
and I was so proud carrying him that I will just run along and follow him.
Do you care that you might be stepping onto fungus once you get to the edge of the sleeping bag?
Yes, I will do my best to jump.
Okay, you leap into the semi-dark cave, leaving
Master,
Princess...
wait for me.
Did you leave the princess?
Oh my god. Yes, I'm sorry.
Go get her. We
Okay.
literally won't be paid unless you bring her.
I think in the
So the princess
midterm
is
of
currently doing
leaping,
a
I
thing
will
where
try
she's-
to stop.
Okay.
Just doing the thing like if I stand on the corner of like a sheet and grab the other corner and then swing it around and put it down in front of me, and then I go to the other corner and I take the back corner and swing it around. So I'm slowly like making my way through.
That sounds really tiring.
Slowest dungeon crawl ever.
It's literally a dungeon crawl, but I'm scared to touch it.
There you go. All right, eventually you all make it into this very tight space, and I do say it's a very, very tight space. So I'm just reloading the map here.
Is that even for our size?
Especially for your size. You're about to see this very tight little gap that you're in. And as your eyes are becoming accustomed to this whole thing, you see this darkness.
Oh my god!
Darkness.
Absolute darkness.
I can't see.
I cast magic missile.
Yeah, it is
No, there's a
darkness,
horrible
and then
idea to do
slowly your light and your vision starts to clear, and you realize you are in a very small passageway, in a very, very, very small corridor with lots of this fungus growing on the ground, and it's almost impossible not to step on it at this point. But
Okay.
it doesn't seem to have affected you too badly, at least those that have already stepped on it.
Daisy, seeing this, is going to look around and then slowly, he can't help himself. He's just going to grab one piece of this fungus and slowly put it in, as subtly as he can, which is not very subtle. He's about as subtle as a shotgun. Put it into a tube and close it as if nothing's happening, and then slowly put it into his pocket.
You know I'm watching you, right? I can see you. No, you look. You can pick it up. I don't care.
As you pick this fungus up and put it into your jar, as you touch it, it's delicately warm. It's not cold. It's just ever so slight. It's like picking up a little piece of tongue. Slightly furry, slightly warm, and a little bit more rigid than perhaps it should be.
Can I use a natural science to figure out what kind of base this fungus is? Like
You
in sort of
absolutely
like
can.
base.
You absolutely can. And
13.
Wait!
you rolled a 13.
You
Well, I
rolled a
got
12.
but I got a +1, so 13.
It doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense, but you would definitely say that this is a fungus that has been... Let me rephrase. There are some otters out there who like to eat the livers of certain types of fish because it absolutely and utterly enhances their muscle mass. The problem is that sometimes they eat too much because they become addicted to becoming these super brawny otters, and occasionally they explode. This fungus looks as if it's almost on the point of exploding, and you're fairly certain it hasn't eaten anyone's liver, but it certainly looks like it has been artificially stuffed to capacity. Each little cell is almost bursting at the seams because there is so much whatever. It doesn't look like this is its natural form, because usually plants don't grow like this.
Okay, I have a theory. Daisy will say, Broga, we don't have much
What?
Time. This will expand, and I don't know what will happen when it happens. There must be a source. Do you see something to hit? Or
No,
eat?
I'm
Or
taking
one of
you
us-
to light. Look, right there. There's light coming from there. This is where we're going. That is what I'm going to schmick.
Schmick away.
Okay. And now because we can't canoe in any further, I will say, okay, it seems as though this is as far as we're going to go like this. One of us needs to go and try out to see if this place is dangerous.
I step on.
No effect.
And then
Okay. I pick up my shield, feeling a bit, yep, glad I did backstroke this whole way.
Your
And
shield is covered in a sort of turquoisey paste where the fungus has literally burst underneath the weight of your shield and has creamed the surface of your...
do I now have an anti-magic shield?
I don't know.
I guess I'll have to find out by jumping in front of some sort of giant spell. No, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, do that.
I will. Okay, I will lead the way and tell everyone to stay close. I'll reach into my my little pouch and pull out a torch, presuming that there isn't much light beyond the glowing whatever it is in here.
You pull out a torch. An
And
orange
I've got-
lit torch. And
I've
you
got,
were in
like,
front?
I have
Yes,
flint and tinder too.
I have flint and tinder, but my flint and tinder is shaped like two clamshells, so that I can
adorable.
and I do it on my belly.
That sounds painful.
Like an otter. Oh.
Yeah. What? Stop looking at me. This isn't weird. You're weird. And then I'll keep going.
It's fine. I'm not judging you.
This isn't weird, you're weird.
I
There
would have
we
done
go.
it the same way.
I think that's funny. All right, so let me just adjust your torchlight there. You start moving forward. How far forward are you going to go, Broga?
I'm going to move. Okay, so I'm going to try and stay about 5 foot in front of everyone, leaving a little gap just in case something gets me. And I'm going to move in 10-foot increments, testing the ground just to make sure, because obviously with the growth, Brolga doesn't know if obviously it may have grown over a pit or a deadfall or something. So I'm kind of testing the ground as I'm going ahead.
All right, Daisy, what are you doing behind Brolga?
I'm following him. I feel pretty impotent right now because I feel like if I start casting spells, this stuff will explode. So I'm going to pick up a lot of this stuff and I'm actually going to form it into a patty and prepare for almost like a chewing tobacco. I'm thinking that this gives me extra magic if I chew on it.
Okie dokes. Princess Aona?
She's scared to touch it still, and after seeing the sludge on his shield, she's like, ugh. So she's going to step on to the sleeping bag and then take the tent and put it in front of her, and then walk forward and take the sleeping bag, which she just stepped off, and put that in front.
I'm just going to leave you at the back and say that takes you a long time.
It's going to take me a long time.
Mouse?
So I feel very bad for being lectured by my master for forgetting about the princess. So I will stay close to the princess. I will bring out my crossbow. I will ready it, and I will cover her and make sure that no one gets close to her. So I'm at the end of I'm taking the rear spot.
All right.
But I'm moving you as I move the tent and the.
Yeah, I will always step with you. Kind
3
of
hours
awkwardly.
later, the two of you arrive at the point.
We're all dead.
Everyone's dead.
Meanwhile, Brolga's just covered in this slime.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the princess is doing, but I think she's royal, so I just have to play along. I will.
I don't want it on my feet.
Do you want me to carry you, princess? I've carried my master. I can carry you as well.
Don't touch me.
Oh God, I'm so sorry.
Okay, you
I
can.
don't want his hands on my bum if he's holding me up or
I'm
my
not there.
leg.
I'm not
No.
there. I walk away.
No, I was offering you to hop on my back.
Yes, but
You shall unhand the
Somehow.
princess's derriere.
Perhaps, Borgo, that you should carry the princess yourself, since your hands are.
Yes, I
Derriere.
would. Normally, I would be fine with this, but since I am at front and my job is to protect the princess, she cannot be with me.
Don't worry, I'll watch the rear.
No pun intended.
There you go. Brolga, as you come around this corner, there is a large cave which seems to reveal itself in front of you. It's has that same strange light that's coming from it, but from your vantage point, you can see definitely collection of bones scattered around all over the place. Stalagmites and stalactites proliferate, and this bizarre blue glow. There's the faint dripping
Broga
of
says
water.
Broga says a silent prayer in Otwin at the side of the bones. Broga's going to raise his hands again in that same sort of way that he did before, trying to like keep the others to be quiet. Not expecting anything to happen because no one else is military trained. And I'm going to approach very cautiously. I'm going to put the torch down like here, basically like just wedge it into some of the moss. I'm going to draw my axe as I walk in.
You draw your axe as you walk in. Give me an awareness check, if you please.
Come back. Yay! That is a 12.
You hear coming from the passageway to the direct north a whispering which says, "Have you come to play?"
Who goes there? Step out of the shadows and speak plainly. If you want to play games, I can show you Otwin game. It's called Smash Rock on Head.
Daisy, you're hearing Brolga having a conversation. You're not entirely sure with whom.
Brother, are you belittling me again? I should assure you that I actually was a god at one point.
And as he comes around the corner towards wherever Brolga is. He's been following Brolga as best he can.
Sure.
And he's going to
You can
listen.
see Brolga very on guard, like looking around, just kind of very wary.
Okay, I'm gonna make if it's possible, I'd like to make an awareness check or a survival check to see if there's like any sort of indication of magical or otherwise traps in the area that someone is trying to lead Brolga into.
No problem. Give me an awareness check will work.
No, seems good.
Seems good. Yep, lots of bones.
Solid 2.
Cave, definitely stuff.
Definitely a cave.
Stuff going on. So, Iona, did you get onto Mouse's back?
No.
You still tenting?
Yeah, I'm still tenting.
Okay.
I don't want him touching me.
In that case, I mean, I'm having a
He's
really,
slug.
I'm having a really bad day. My master shouted at me. The princess doesn't want my help, so all I can do is
You
I
can
will.
help me with the tent. I just don't.
Yeah,
want
that's what
him.
I'm going
I
to
just
do.
need a
I'm
slug
going
on
to
me.
waddle through the mushrooms, and I'm just
Oh yeah, pull the
in a,
tent.
in a chivalry way. I'm trying to always take the tent and pull it in front of you and wait until you've walked to the end of
Wait,
it, and then
just
I will
grab-
run around.
Grab a corner and I'll lay down on the blanket. You can just drag me across, like when you're a kid.
You can see this. You can see this complete face of resignation, where I just be like,
Yeah.
and I would pull the tent, and I would just walk.
Whee!
You are pulling very, very slowly. I'm going to move you guys to about there as far as you can go. Back to you, Brolga.
I'm having a very different game to these two. I'm going to slowly make my way around the rock at the center of this room near where the pelvis is. I'm expecting the voice to basically be coming from further in. Either I assume I can see the entrance to that little passageway to the north. So I think
whatever
maybe
you can see here is whatever you can see. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm trying to use the rocks for kind of cover as I'm moving. Just making sure nothing sort of can come up behind me, or preferably, above me. So minimizing my exposure as I move around.
Yeah, it looks all quiet. Don't be afraid. I won't bite.
Brogda fears nothing. The Otwin Royal Guard has nothing but bravery in our hearts. But you,
To himself.
where do you speak from?
Just down the corridor.
This way? He points at the thin corridor.
I can't see you.
Ah, good. You fall for trap. Okay. It's safe in here for now. I step forward a little bit more bravely. I'll keep my eyes on the
There
on the
you
corridor.
are.
Oh God.
Ah, you fell for my trap.
Dim. Well played. I see you played auto-win game. I fool you.
Daisy, what are you doing whilst Broger is having this conversation with this very whispery voice?
Can I hear the whispery voice at all?
Yes, you can. Definitely coming from that northern corridor. Now that you're sort of listening out for it, it's very soft though.
I say I'm kind of whispering. He's probably not paying attention, being so stalwart. I'm like, Broga, come back. It's tricking you, Broga. It's trying to separate you from the others. And I'm poke my head in, and I kind of see. I look around. I see the crystals to my left. I'm assuming.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. So you stop doing that. So you are stepping into the room.
Mm-hmm.
How far around are you going?
That's as far as I want.
Okay.
And I see the crystals.
Yes.
Do these look like the source that I was thinking for?
They don't. They're very reminiscent of glow crystals, which are very common throughout most of the world. They just give off a subtle glow. Usually they're not bright enough to illuminate big rooms, but certainly they're a lot cheaper than candles because they just last for a long time.
Okay. The final thing I want to do is I want to take out my trunk. I want to pull out the skunk, and I'm gonna ass first, obviously.
Prep your skunk.
Stop pointing it at me.
Duck then.
All right.
Back
I
to Mouse, busy tugging away on the stamped tarpaulin tent thing.
Oh, look, Princess. Thank you. Look, there, the mushrooms are ending there. I think we've almost reached it.
Hooray! Keep going.
Yes, Your Highness.
Keep
I'm
going.
coming, Master. I'm
You're
bringing the
so
princess.
Smart and brave and wonderful.
Oh, I know. Thank you. You're so kind, Princess.
And as are you for doing this for me.
I'm a little bit disappointed I've already pledged my life to Daisy. I would have pledged it to you as well.
Do I hear this?
Yes, yes. There's echoes all over the place, and he's only
I'm like-
7 feet away from you.
Mouse.
No, I just...
Mouse!
Danger.
No, yes, pulling.
You!
Danger.
Brolga?
Oh no, I hate this day.
Broga just takes a sort of a deep breath. All right. I'm gonna step now because obviously I can see the little corridor like to the left, like the little cavern-y type thing. Is there anything in there?
To the left, so to the left where the fungus is growing, yes, there's an ancient archway, and through that archway seems to be something further on. Let me do this for you so you can see a little bit of what's going on in there. He said, hopefully. No, I didn't use the right tool. But yes, it does continue down beyond this point to the left, and directly in front of you, of course, the little archway continues.
Okay.
Continues.
I'm going to say, all right, strange voice. I think I get where you're going. You are this way? I say, pointing to the little tiny archway, like the tiny little place in the north.
I still can't see you. Come
I thought you said you could see me.
closer.
Okay. I will step, but this way I will go to the left corridor.
This way?
Yes, indeed.
All right. As you step in that direction, no response from him, and you can, however, now see this area here. Let me just open that up for you. So this whole corridor continues downward, and you can see there's more of those glowing crystals further down as well.
I do like this glowing crystal. So as I look down at it, I'm going to use the sort of edge of my shield, and then the back of my my axe is kind of like almost like a makeshift hammer, and basically just try and chisel the stone out of the wall here. And I'll tell Daisy that she can Here, for you.
You're whacking on this crystal. It sounds like an anvil being struck by the hammer of the great forge gods, as it echoes around this crypt cavern space. Daisy, what are you doing?
Make the noises of like stop, if I can, but he seems pretty intense. So I'm going to think, use an obscure lore, and I'm going to
Sure.
try to consider what kind of creature could be like luring with the intelligence that it seems to portray.
Yes.
Which of the kind of like fallen creatures that consumed this one is.
Ah, yes.
And if there's a way that I can lure, like kind of drive it into madness and lure it towards us.
There you go.
Wouldn't it
Very
be a
awesome.
gas 'cause it needs a body.
And whilst you're doing that, the rest of you, give me a name for the god of the forge. Give me a name for the god of the forge. Scribes, you know what to do. Collect those names. Drop your names in there right now. That looks like someone who's happy.
I apparently have loaded dice. That's another 13.
Loaded dice, another 13 on a d12.
Nice.
I think you may have loaded dice. So, absolutely. Ghast is the first one that comes to mind because they don't have a body and they're seeking a body. But why it would be trapped down there, you're not entirely sure. Ghasts usually are particularly horrific because they can move around quite easily and are often very hard to see when they're outside of a body that they have inhabited.
Is there a way to make with a 13, and I'm not expecting an answer for this, is there a way for me to make a simulacrum to trick this creature into going into it and trap it within when it tries to go for Brolga? Or that's real tough.
It would take you quite some time because it would have to be something that's living that the ghast would be able to inhabit. You could possibly sacrifice one of your pets.
Skunks.
I have a question for you. Would the flow of mana, since everything is being sucked into this anti-magic area, be sucking the ghast in since it doesn't have a physical form? It might have been like a trap that's been set off to keep it here.
Perhaps. Okay. I relay this information to Broga while he's hitting it. I'm assuming he's making loud noises, so I'm trying my best to like pantomime it. I'm like,
Brolga is afraid of no ghost.
got it.
Mouse, you eventually drag the delightful princess
Oh,
into the cavern with the bones, and we have a name for the god of the forge. There were several names given, and our scribes have collected them together. Michael, because you were the one who struck, you can do this. You can choose between Clamoris or Hjorsen.
Oh, definitely Hjorsen. Hjorsen, god of the forge.
There you are. We'll save Clamoris and the other options for a little bit later on.
How do I spell that?
Hjorson.
Done.
Okay.
can we just blow up that side of the passage then, so it's sealed forever?
Mouse, what are you doing?
I will step to the right, and aim with my crossbow into the northern passage.
Give me a mental resistance check, if you please.
Oh, great. It's a 5.
It's a 5.
I hate this day. I hate it so much.
Chat, I need you to give me the name of who is a living or dead relative. Brother, sister, daughter, mother, father, son, Mouse?
You want me to give you a name?
Not a name, just
No,
give me a
okay.
position.
A relative.
Father.
Father. Give me a name for Mouse's father, because that is whom you see standing at the end of that passageway down the length of your crossbow as you're aiming, ready to fire. Is your father leaning against the wall, looking injured, wounded, and very unhappy.
Okay. That really puts me off. Because last time I remembered, I've killed my father. And it's like I'm like, oh, I think I've dealt with you already, and I will fire at him.
Well, that's a plot twist. All right, we've got some great names coming through. We'll get those shortly. Princess Iona, you watch as Mouse declares, I've killed you already? And then he fires his crossbow into the passageway.
I'm going to go over to him and look down the passageway.
You are going to go and look down the passageway. Okay. All right. You are looking down the... Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. You're looking down the passageway. As you do so, you see this very, very faint apparition. Give me a mental resistance check.
That's 7 plus mental resistance. That's a 7, I believe.
That's a 7.
Yep, 7.
It's not paying attention to you. You don't see anything.
Ooh.
You don't see anything.
It's just there's nothing there.
There's nothing there. Of course, now there's a crossbow bolt sailing across it. So that means that before I go back to Brolga, who's busy banging out on this crystal, it does break and come free, by the way. You get to choose between 4 names here, Mouse. You can choose Grotto, Hansa, Lars, or Cat. And I have to give an honourable mention to Lance Pickett, who came up with Flader.
Oh, nice.
Because we all know what that means.
I also see mouse spelled like
Well,
moose.
yes. So you can choose Grotto, Hansa, Lars, or Cat. The name of your father.
He might have been a cat, but I would go for Lars.
Lars. All right. So Lars it is. The name of Mouse's father. Right. Fire your crossbow. It sails across the air. Brolga, what are you doing?
After Broga dislodges the glowing gem, I did want to do this afterwards anyway. I feel really bad because I feel like I'm like as a player, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I should keep doing this, but I'm going to anyway. Broga's going to see Mouse firing down the corridor. He looks at Mouse. He looks at the corridor. He looks at Mouse. He looks at the corridor. Without coming around the corner, Brolga is going to again try to channel magic. And I'm going to utilize my physical a little bit again.
What you have left of
taking taking 2 of my physical. And I'm going to attempt to drop 5 foot of rock to create a basically an earth wall down that corridor.
That's gonna take quite a lot of weight to move.
Sorry.
Yeah, go.
Can I quickly ask a question? Now, since I know that I've killed my father, am I still under the impression that it is my father or that it is tricking me?
The crossbow bolt is currently sticking out of his chest and he's leaning backwards, staggering.
Okay, so I still think that he somehow came back.
Yes.
Okay.
So your difficulty number is going to be quite high there, young Brolga.
Okay,
Old Brolga.
what if I could? I mean, like for example, I'm not trying to create that much weight or anything like that. I'm just trying to create, like, basically crack the
Sure.
the ceiling so that it falls in naturally. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do, absolutely. So then that will require damage. It's to do that. Yes. You want to try and do that?
Yeah, so I'm going to do a 5 foot area of damage to the ceiling above where that area is.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure. You work out the numbers
because
whilst you're trying to do that one. And you've got to figure out how much damage you're going to do too. So that's what you're doing. Daisy,
yeah.
you're seeing Brolga starting to summon forth magic by thumping his
First
tail,
I saw
suppose.
the crossbow bolt just went past
Yes.
my head, and I just kind of startled, and I look at Mouse, and I'm like, "What's wrong? What's happening?" And I look down the hallway quickly to see if there's anything down there. Are you okay?
You're looking down the corridor?
Yeah, just like, well, he just took a shot,
Yeah.
and so I'm going like, "What are you shooting at?" Essentially,
Gotcha.
very quickly, and I'm asking him if he's all right.
Give me a mental resistance check as you look down the corridor.
Okay, 12.
12?
Yeah,
Okay.
keep rolling really high, so that luck's gonna run out soon.
You switch dice and use mine.
I switched dice to use
Switch
hers.
dice, there we go. He's just using up all the 12s, that's all. That's all.
Yeah, that's
So as you look down the corridor, there is a figure with a crossbow bolt in it, and for a moment it looks familiar, but then you see it changing and flickering, and it no longer looks like the familiar face that you think it might have been trying to achieve. Because you know about ghasts, it's trying to change into a shape that it thinks you would like to see again, and as a result get close to you. But it obviously it couldn't get into your mind, so it got a surface impression and then it lost it. But it has a crossbow bolt sticking out of it. Let's work out how much damage you did, Mouse.
Oh,
Make your
me
crossbow
shooting
attack.
it.
Yes.
Oh yeah. So I hit. Did I hit?
The
No, I
difficulty
have
is
to hit
6.
first. Yeah.
You just roll your
Yeah. No. Well, I had a 5.
yeah, plus your bow skill, ranged weapons skill.
Yeah, that already is a 5.
That's already plus. Plus plus you anything else? No,
No,
that's it.
no.
All right. The arrow, you realize it's holding the arrow, looking wounded, and sort of holding its hand out to you, trying to play the part of dying father. But you can see the arrow is actually sticking out from the rock behind it because you missed.
And
It's
I'm like,
pretending it's been shot
Yeah.
by your arrow.
Master, he came back for me. I have to kill him again.
I grab you by the shoulders and I'm like, listen, and listen close. Your God is speaking. That is
Yes.
a ghast, and we will banish it back to my realm. And I give him a smile and turn around and prepare to hurt this thing as best I can with my skunk.
Brolga, how much damage did you try and do to this rock face?
Well, based on my things, I needed a 9.
Uh-huh.
I got a 12 in total,
Okay.
and I did 2 points damage on top of that. So that's 5 damage in total to the
To the rock
5-foot
face.
area. Yeah.
It cracks. It fails to form any kind of wall, however. There are definite cracks and things forming in the roof because this is an old cavern.
Yeah. Okay. So it probably needs another good hit.
Absolutely. Let's go into awareness, please, everybody, as we move into combat.
There it is.
There it is.
Yeah.
It was bound to happen. It was bound to happen. I'm just going to
12 for Brogar.
12 for Brolga.
12 for Mouse as well.
12 for Mouse as well. Okay.
10 from Princess Iona.
I beg your pardon?
10 for Princess Iona.
10 for Princess Iona. Okay, and that puts you after them.
Daisy being so swept up in his little speech to Mouse, he was like, that was pretty good, as he like lifts his skunk and he got a 3.
He got a 3. Okay, I'm just going to bring... what am I doing here? Sorry, folks. That's going to put
Love
you
it, you've got
there. And then... yeah, well, it's doing what it's going to be doing. So we will see that happening. Brolga and Mouse, either of you can act. It's not coming down the corridor, whatever the hell this thing is.
Well, I would assume that I'm still reloading at the moment, so I would give Brolga
Okay.
the first move.
Sure. I'm going to do pretty much exactly the same thing I did before again. I'm going to choose to use my... I'm just going to choose to boost by 1 instead of 2 this time. That will do 3 points of damage at the end of everything.
There is a cracking and a shifting. It's still holding, but there's
Ugh.
bits of particulate dropping from the ceiling. Definitely bits of particulate dropping from the ceiling. Mouse?
I'm shooting again, but since I really want to see that fellow dead, I will put 2 physical into my shot.
Okie dokes. Fire at will, Commander.
Oh Jesus. So that would be a 5 to hit.
Uh-huh.
Oh, sorry, plus my 2 physical, right? I can add that
Yes,
to
yes,
it.
you
Okay,
do.
so a 7.
7 to hit. You hit!
Oh Jesus. Okay, so how much over?
2 over.
2
1 over.
over.
1 over. 1 over.
1
1
over.
over.
So
1 over,
3
1 over.
damage.
6. 3 damage? All right. Your bolt, now, this time round, when it hits it, your father image completely just vaporizes, and you see this horrific... It looks like a skeleton, but with these distorted features that keep moving and morphing and changing as it moves through various, perhaps, incarnations that it has been in the past. And it just glares at you. But you do see that it seems to be chained or stuck because it's trying to lurch forward, but its back left leg seems to be stuck behind something. Princess Aona.
Muted.
Still muted. Should I quack? There we go.
Did it go?
Yeah, we're
Yep,
good.
you're good.
Okay. I probably tell everybody not to approach it so we can't possess them. And then can I make like an investigation to see like if I can see what it's stuck on, or is it the pole of something?
It's just round the corner.
So you
So
can't see.
even if you'd have to move in front of Daisy, I guess, or push.
I don't
Mouse
want to
out
get in front of the
way.
skunk. No way. That is a bad idea. I will just support. I guess. I will give inspiration. Then.
You can do that, yes.
Right.
All right, you figure out whom you are giving inspiration to.
I'm going to give it to our Lord and Savior Daisy.
You managed to defeat your DC?
I rolled a natural 12.
Oh, there we go. Daisy,
Nice.
you have a +2. Is that right?
Yep.
Okie dokes. What you doing, Daisy?
Do I see that it is also trapped?
Yes.
Okay, so what I want to do is I want to augment my ability for the skunk, the skunk in the trunk, and I'm going to fire, but I'm going to use the noxious gas not to do damage, but to like almost make it so sickened by it, or like spiritually and physically, that it like kind of is weakened and disoriented. Essentially, it's going to cost.
It's a magic spell, so it can do
Yeah.
these things to a spirit.
It's going to cost 8 right now as it stands.
Okay.
So, and what do I get +2
+2.
for Magicka? So I have +3, and I got a 9 total.
Yay.
Thank you for the bonus, because
Yeah, you would have definitely failed.
So that's 1 damage.
Yeah.
The noxious fumes, it's like memory of unhappy times. Memory of unhappy times, or memory of cabbage soup. I'm not sure. But that sort of drifts throughout the caverns for a moment. Taking us back to the top of the round, Brolga.
Second verse, same as the first. I am going to eat a little bit from my mental once more, in order to try and do this thing again.
How much
so
mental do you
Brolga-
have left?
I have 3 left after I received the healing herb. By the way, the healing herb, it's a once per day action. I mean, I'm not sure about the action economy of this game. Can I do that as well as doing a spell,
It's
or do I
taking
need
a
to pick?
potion, which is an action.
Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to again burn one of my mental, take a big old swing. That's good. That is 13, 4, 5, 6 points of damage. this time as Brolga hits the side of the wall, and the reverberations from the strike travel up the wall to the same cracked location in the ceiling.
There is a terrific rumbling sound as bits of the cavern start to crumble, and I will need you, Broggle, to give me a reflex check, please, because it starts to collapse in.
Oh no! Dang it!
That's what happens when you cause a landslide.
I was too effective. Oh god! Okay, that's not too bad. That is an 11.
You're good. You leap out of the way. You leap out of the way, I should say.
Broga, are you all right?
I'm fine. Now, bad spirits stay in cave.
What if what we needed was down that cave?
Well, let's hope it wasn't.
And that's where we'll end off on today's session. Let's hope it wasn't down there. Because if it was...
It's buried now.
It's buried now. Thank you to everyone for watching us today. It seems to fly by so quickly. It really does.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, you guys managed to cover a total distance of 20 feet or so on the map. That's brilliant.
We did
That's
it!
lovely. Absolutely. No, I'm only being facetious. I had a lot of fun. I hope that all of you did. Thanks to our scribes once again for giving us the names. Don't think the other names have been lost, by the way. Those other names are definitely been written down here. Clamoras, Gorthor, Grata, Hansa and Cat. We'll use them at some time. And Beyond the Sixth Saying, of course, it was utterly brilliant. Well, we give us we gotta get the puns in, right? Anyway,
I love it. There's been so many puns coming through.
it's just insane. It's just insane. Until we meet again, which will be tomorrow. Same time, same place, same channels, whichever one you happen to be watching on. Yes, you can catch reviews of this, or I should say you can catch this show again on YouTube, youtube.com/how to be a great game master. One long word. You'll find them under the live section of videos. So check them out if you wanted to go back and review something. But yes, let's see. That's it from me. How about you guys? You all good?
Good.
Happiness?
Can't wait to see how this plays out tomorrow.
There we go.
Oh,
There
yeah.
are some questions with regards to what we're using. It's a homebrewed system, which has been inspired by all of you, as a matter of fact, as well as Dungeon Fog, which is doing the mapping for us, allowing us to make these additions on the fly, such as rock falls. And the lighting effect, I think, is particularly like, because I can turn your light on and off and on and off. I think that's really fun. So,
That's how microphones work, right, Guy?
okay, goodbye, everyone. Let's see what happens. This collapse might just extend further.
Broga moves back a few feet.
Yeah, steps away from Daisy.
You
No, it's
don't
absolutely
anger the actual god of the game.
Yes.
Makes sense. I
Yeah.
met him.
Anyway. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thank you all. Have a great evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.